have you been to see Dad since he ended up in the hospital? You should go once to see him at least. His condition looks like it's only been getting worse recently.
What's this now? I can't tell what you're saying over the sound of you thinking you can order me around. I'm a busy man, much busier than some piece of trash with a pathetic excuse for an education like you, Ben.
And you think that gives you the right just to call me trash? Do you really feel like it's okay to be referring to your own brother as something like that? Seriously, just give it a rest already.
What? All I'm doing is telling the truth here. You are a piece of trash who only graduated high school, aren't you? At the bottom of your class, no less. You know very well that I far outrank you in all aspects of life.
Outrank? What are you talking about? It's not like we're ranked in life or something crazy like that. Yeah, sure, you went to college. I get that you're proud of that. But it's not like your alma mater is one of the top schools in the country or anything. In fact, I remember you went to it because it was known as a party school. That's hardly something that gives you the right to be lording it over me, day in and day out.
Maybe not, but it's certainly better than having only barely graduated high school. At the very least, I have a salaried job and a college degree. I'm clearly much smarter than uneducated trash like you.
I don't think you can compare intelligence solely based on someone's academic record. I'm quite confident in the value of what I do, and it's a job I both enjoy and do at my own preferred pace.
Those just sound like the words of a loser to me. Just another little boy who knows he can't beat me. I hope I never end up like you.
It's not like I care about whether you approve of what I do or not. All I'm saying is that you should go see Dad while you can. I asked him while I was at the hospital, you know? You still haven't gone to see him even once. You might not even have a chance to talk to him ever again. You realize that. Can't you find any time at all to go see him?
Nah, I don't think I can. It's not like there's any benefit I can get out of seeing him anyway. All that matters to me is when I'll be able to get my inheritance.
Seriously? You're already thinking about what he's gonna leave you in his will? Did you forget that he's part of your family?
What are you going on about? Family ties are nothing more than a nuisance. All I'm looking forward to is getting my just inheritance from that old fool. Nothing else. I can't say anything else really matters to me at this point.
If you are actually so heartless as to say things like that, I can't even think of you as my brother anymore.
What do I care? It's not like I've been thinking of you as my brother anyway.
Ah, I see. If that's the case, then whatever. But I should remind you that Dad is still alive, even though he's getting worse. This really might be your only chance to see him. Don't you think that you should try see him now before you regret it later?
Hey, that's what you're there for, right? That's your job since you can't do anything else worth doing with your lack of intelligence. Don't worry, I'll be sure to go see him once he dies.
You know very well that's not what I meant. Come on, it's not that hard. Just one last time. Give him a chance to see your face and talk to you again. He would really like to see you one last time before he passes. Can't you at least understand how important it is to him? You haven't been home once since you graduated from college, and that was several years ago.
Why would I go back home? There's no point in doing so.
You mean because he had disowned you for trying to steal money from the family? It's been a long time since that happened, and time heals all wounds. Don't you think it would be better to see him even just once?
I don't know where you get off thinking you can tell me what to do. You never even went to college. Just shut up like an idiot with your lacking record should. I'm the only one who dictates what I do, nobody else. You have no right to say anything to me, let alone trying to give me orders. To say that I'm angry with that man would be an understatement. To kick me out of the house and completely disown me just for wanting to borrow a little money? What did I even do wrong?
If you were having financial trouble, you could have talked to us about it. Things ended up like they did because you just tried to take it without so much as asking for it. You know how much Dad hates people who are too scared to ask for help, especially those who resort to stealing as a result.
Oh, is that so? Whatever, I don't care what he thinks. After all, he's gonna be dead and gone soon anyway.
I still can't believe you're saying things like that about your own father.
Well, you can send me a text once he's kicked the bucket.
Are you serious? You aren't even gonna see him at all before he dies? Are you I'm sorry, Dad. I don't think Josh is gonna listen to a thing I say. I tried to talk to him, but it was like talking to a wall. It doesn't sound like he's gonna be able to make any time to see you.
Well, I can't honestly say that surprises me. That's just the kind of man he is, I'm afraid. I'm guessing that he's just waiting for me to kick the bucket, right?
I don't know if he would say that, but knowing you, you'll just get better and be back on your feet in no time. There's no reason to give up yet.
I'm already fine with how things turned out.
What do you mean you're fine with it?
Honestly, I would just like to get to finally see your mother again. I don't have much of a desire to stick around for much longer as it is.
What are you saying? This doesn't sound like you. Look, don't worry about that. Just focus on getting better.
I'm already resigned to my fate. I'm not fighting it anymore. Thank you for taking care of me for so long, Ben.
No, I'm telling you, don't think like that. You don't need to worry about me. Just think about yourself.
There is something I need to tell you while I still can, though.
What?
It has to do with my will.
I'm telling you, it's too early for you to be talking about that. People only have to worry about that when they're gonna die, and you're gonna get better. Please, don't go talking about that.
No, please, just listen to me. This is extremely important. It has to do why I can't leave anything behind for you.
What are you talking about? Dad's in critical condition. You need to go see him now. You know where the hospital he's at is, right?
Oh, already? That was fast.
What sort of a response is that? You're laughing at your own father dying here? Get over here. He's gone. Why didn't you come? Where even are you right now?
Geez, it sure took him long enough. Finally, I'll be free to use the money as I please.
And what might you mean by that?
What? It's obvious, isn't it? It's not like he's gonna leave anything to someone without a proper education. It'd be a complete waste.
Huh?
I'll be getting every last bit of the inheritance. You, my pathetically uneducated little brother, will be getting nothing at all. I don't think anyone would ever want to give you anything, even on their deathbed.
And of course, the very first thing you think about is the inheritance. Even when we're talking about your own father having passed away, do you seriously not feel anything at all?
Honestly, I couldn't care less. If you want to cry about how I'm not emotional enough for you, be my guest. With that inheritance money, I will finally get to start a new life for myself. With the inheritance of a man who owned multiple companies, I'll finally be able to wipe away my past. I'll have a clean slate.
Wipe away your past? What kind of past are you even talking about? What the hell did you do?
What do you care? It has nothing to do with you, and it's not like you would understand anyway. You had better not come to the funeral, got it?
Excuse me?
To Dad, you were nothing. You certainly weren't worthy of being called his son. Why would someone like you ever be allowed to come to his funeral? Read the room.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is coming from the guy who wouldn't even see his dying father once in the hospital?
Oh, I'm sure you would like it if that mattered in the slightest. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't. The oldest son takes over everything, and that's me. Anyway, let me say it one more time for your puny little brain. Do not come to the funeral. Understand?
Yeah, right. Like I would ever follow a command like that.
Oh, is that so? I'll be sure to make you regret it.
It might be better if you calm down before you start doing things you'll regret.
How pathetic.
Why are you doing this?
Isn't it obvious? Someone with no education has no social standing and doesn't deserve to be at Dad's funeral, and yet here you are. I told you not to come, didn't I?
So you think that gives you the right to punch someone in the face at a funeral of all places? I hope you don't think that's something that befits the elite person you think you are. You are going way overboard.
You have no reason to be here. A good-for-nothing person like you isn't going to be getting any inheritance money. I clearly explained it all to you, but apparently your faulty brain just didn't comprehend it. You still came, fouling up the place with your stupidity. Someone like you has no right to come to a funeral like this. A piece of trash that's skulking around trying to worm his way into getting some inheritance money isn't gonna eat a cent. Go home.
Sure, whatever. I don't need anything like that anyway.
I don't want to see your disgusting face again. You hear me?
Whatever. I'm at a loss for words at the outright malice you're putting on display. Fine, I'll forget about the inheritance.
Yeah, you better. Though it's not like thinking about it would have helped anyways. That should be obvious. You're the second son. You have no education worth speaking of. It's obvious that someone worthless like you should be mindlessly following everything your older brother says.
Sure, I get it. Don't go regretting this though, okay?
Regret? What would I be regretting?
Before you go accepting the inheritance, I would suggest checking what it actually consists of first. That's the last thing I need to say to you.
Sure. Say whatever you like, you pathetic loser.
Afterwards, instead of just constantly taking orders from you, I'll have a request for you myself.
Oh, and what would that be?
I don't want to have anything more to do with you. I want to cut all ties with you.
Huh?
You know what I'm getting at. I don't want to be considered your family. I don't want anything to do with you ever again, alright?
Oh, is that all? That'll be easy. I want to cut you off from me as soon as possible anyway. A guy who never went to college, who's constantly depending on real adults instead of standing on his own? Someone who's speaking to me with an insolent tone like he knows what he's talking about? Believe me, I fully intend to get a pathetic idiot like you as far away from me as possible.
Understood. Well then, I wholeheartedly suggest you take the time to check what you're getting in the inheritance.
Do you know what's happening regarding the inheritance?
What's happening with it? What do you mean?
I can't seem to get it transferred to me. Do you have any idea when the transfer will be processed?
When it will be transferred? What are you talking about? You mean after I went through all the effort to warn you? You just went and accepted the whole thing without checking what it actually was composed of?
What are you on about? You keep saying to check its contents. There was a line there about $3 million or so. What about it?
Well, you're not wrong there. What you fail to notice is that that's $3 million of debt.
Huh?
It sounds like you expected to receive a sizable sum for the inheritance, but unfortunately for you, that inheritance was composed of nothing but debt. Congratulations, you've just saddled yourself with $3 million of debt. I'd say you have my condolences, but I can't say I particularly care. I mean, I did warn you after all.
Debt? What are you talking about? Someone like Dad who owns such a large company? There's no way he could ever end up being that deep in debt. That's impossible.
Wow, so you really didn't know a thing about it, huh? Dad's company was bought out ages ago.
Huh?
Thanks to repeated economic slumps, the company just couldn't stay above water and it was taken over. And with Mom passing away at the same time, Dad just lost the will to do much of anything. So he lost everything. Not only that, he took responsibility for the entire company and shouldered the debt himself. Even though the company was sold in the end, there was still quite a sizable debt remaining after the sale. For a man of his standing, being unable to get another job, things were extremely difficult for him financially.
No, wait, what are you saying? I don't believe a word of this. There's no way any of that garbage could be true.
I can't say I'm surprised you don't believe me. You weren't exactly keeping tabs on Dad after all. And to suddenly hear of all of this out of the blue, I don't blame you at all for not being able to believe it. But the truth is, the money you stole from our family, that money was the last chance the company had to come back from the bank.
What?
In other words, the fall of Dad's company and his slide into debt, it was all caused by your theft all those years ago. The stress Dad suffered from dealing with his failing company and its debt was what caused him to go sick in the first place. One could say that your theft caused that too.
No, I don't know anything about that. And besides, there's more pressing problems to deal with right now. How could someone who never went to college, someone so stupid they weren't worth a cent to society, how could trash like you know all of this?
I went to see Dad many times during his final days, and he told me all sorts of things. He also told me on his deathbed that we had to give up the inheritance so we wouldn't be saddled with the debt ourselves.
Wait, then why didn't you tell me this?
Well, if we didn't give it up, I was planning on trying to help pay it off. As a businessman, I've been having a lot of success, so I would have been able to help deal with it. But after seeing how you've been acting regarding Dad's death, I decided against offering my support.
You've been finding success as a businessman? What do you mean by that?
All this time you've been looking down on me, making fun of me for my lack of a degree. Thanks to that, it won't surprise me if you don't believe me when I tell you that I've actually been making quite a lot of money recently. If I was able to save Dad with all of the money I've been earning, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Hold on, you're not making any sense. Why are you a businessman? How, even?
I told you before, didn't I? An academic record isn't the only thing that dictates your intelligence. Sure, you may be earning some good money using your degree and working at a large company of some sort. That said, paying back $3 million of debt is probably still too much for you, isn't it? That's why I tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. You were so wrapped up in trying to show how much better you were than me and disregarded everything I said. And this is your reward for it all.
Hold on, just wait a second. This really isn't a joke. You're serious? I can't believe that the inheritance could just be all this debt. I didn't hear anything of this.
Well, of course you didn't. I didn't tell you. You just didn't think about actually listening to me at the time when I warned you either. And now it's too late for you to get my help, as we're not officially brothers anymore. You certainly raced to cut every tie between us after all. You won't be getting the slightest bit of help from me, so there's no point in asking. Go figure out a way to deal with it yourself.
What do you mean, do it myself? I can't deal with it. I already quit my job. I was planning on spending a lot of time just living it up with the inheritance money.
Wow, for someone who talks up how much smarter they are all the time, you sure do some incredibly stupid things. I'm surprised. If you're really that stupid, I don't think there's any hope of saving you.
How dare you? This coming from the guy who never even went to college?
Wake up and face reality. Who's the bigger idiot right now, the college graduate or the one who never got a degree? Well, it doesn't really matter to me. You're just someone who I have no connection to anymore, so talking anymore is futile. I've already refused to accept the inheritance, so I don't have any connection to this whole affair anymore.
No way. Are you just gonna abandon me like this?
You said that you wouldn't even think of someone with such a terrible academic record as your brother, right? So, go on and use your oh-so-amazing academic record to save yourself then. Have fun, loser. Eventually, Josh finally came to understand the weight of the debt he had unknowingly taken on. Unsurprisingly, he frantically started begging for my help, but I obviously just ignored him. He obviously had nowhere near enough money to pay back all of the fees, and having quit his job certainly didn't make things any better. So, he had no choice but to declare bankruptcy, which did a number on both his future and his ego. Now he's on a frantic search for a new job, and he's probably gonna have a hard time finding a new one thanks to burning bridges as he left his last one. I'd say he's probably getting a good taste of what it's like to truly feel worthless now. Who knows, maybe he'll learn a little humility from this whole ordeal and stop judging people on their academics alone. That said, I'm not gonna stick around to find out. I'll be happy to enjoy life a bit more without him constantly pestering me anymore. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Bye!
Hey, John. Just what the heck do you think you are doing here? A little peon owner of a tiny company like yours doesn't belong with some of the largest players in the business at a wedding like this. Oh, hi, Rick. Sorry. I think you might be mistaken. I received an invitation and made sure to RSVP. I am so sure. And just who did you steal your invitation from? Huh? I know. You did it the last time you came to our office for that meeting, didn't you? You saw an invitation lying on someone's desk and that's when you stole it. Admit it. I knew something was up when you suggested coming to ours to hold the meeting. But now I figured it out. It was all part of your plan to sneak your way in here. What? Are you serious? Do you really think I would even think of doing something like that? Besides, if you'll remember, I suggested that we hold the meeting in a cafe, but you said you wouldn't stoop that low and insisted that we hold it at your office instead. What are you talking about? I don't remember saying anything of that. Anyways, this is an important day. My son is getting married today. How dare you show up here trying to cause trouble? You really do have some nerve. You know that. I already told you that I received an invitation just like everyone else. Marcus sent it to me. Stop with your pathetic lies. I can see right through them. You are not fooling anybody right now. You just snuck in here so that you could eat your fill of all the nice catered food we have. What else would I expect from the owner of such a poor little company like yours? Now, you listen here. Marcus is the managing director of my company. Do you understand? That means he is among the elite leaders here. Yes, I am very familiar with his position in the company. Besides, you don't really have that much room to talk. You don't even work at the company anymore, last I heard. What did you just say to me? I just said that you've already retired. Although I've heard that you are just spending your retirement still going into the office to try and boss people around. Anyways, I think you should just chat with your son and have him clear all of this up for you. You really need to learn your place. Besides, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. And just how the heck does a tiny little insect like you know someone like Marcus? I doubt you've even met him. You just know his name and are trying to sneak in using that. That is not true. Actually, Marcus and I went to college at the same time. We were actually pretty good friends back in the day. Of course, it is true that as far as our companies go, mine is much newer, but we still go out from time to time on the weekends. I thought I told you to stop all these idiotic lies. Don't make me laugh. There is no way Marcus would ever become friends with a little gutter rat like you. That's pathetic you would even try to pass that off as the truth. Okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. Why don't you just call Marcus over and the three of us can talk? I'm sure that would clear things up for you. Please. You really think I'm going to give you what you want and let you drag my son any farther into this nonsense than you already have? I bet you are just trying to get me to bring him here so you can murder him. Wow. Are you serious? I literally have no idea how to even respond to that. What else could you be planning? Why else would you want me to go through with all the trouble of bringing him here so you can see him in person? Whatever you are planning, I know it can't be good. I am planning to have Marcus explain to you that I was invited here to this wedding, and that having the three of us talk would be the best way to handle that. I don't have an ulterior motive or sinister plot. I am just attending a wedding I was invited to. Well, we don't need you here. Just get out already. Or else I'll make you really regret it if you don't. What? No, this is just getting silly now. Just call Marcus over so that we can talk. I'm waiting by the entrance of the venue. So just bring him here and we'll talk it out, okay? So you're waiting outside, huh? Fine. Just wait there. Have you actually lost your mind? You cannot just come outside and try and literally kick me out. That is assault. Do you even realize what you've done? Besides, I have been telling you that I was invited here. Yes, you showed me your fake invitation, but I saw right through it. You can't fool me that easily. God, you're a sneaky little rat, aren't you? Did you really think we would let a lowly little peon like you into such an important event as this wedding? If you don't want me to come back out there and really show you what it really means to be kicked out, then I suggest you beat it right now. Fine. Tell Marcus that I said congratulations. I said get out already. Now! Oh my gosh, John. Are you alright? I can't believe my dad actually did that. I do not know what has gotten into him. I mean, I am just so sorry. I can't apologize enough. And I heard he actually kicked you. Are you okay? Well, yeah, he did actually kick me. Although, given his age, it wasn't that bad. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Although I do have to say that I was really surprised. The times that I have had to talk to him for work, I had always thought he was a bit off, but this was something else. Well, how do you think I feel having that guy for a dad? He is always trying to cause some big scene and stir up trouble. He can really be such an idiot sometimes. I knew it. So, he really is still showing up to the office. Yes. Actually, he is always the first one there in the mornings. I thought we would be done with him after he retired, but... And because he used to work there for so long, nobody really feels comfortable telling him not to come. But surely you can see the risk of letting such a volatile guy show up to your office and act like that every day, right? Of course I can, man. But he is still my dad, you know? Every time I thought about doing it, I just put it off and told myself I'd give him another chance. But I am just so sorry that it has gotten this far. I really just shouldn't have let him out of my sight. I knew he would cause trouble the second that I did. What? No way, man. I really don't think you are the one who should be apologizing for this. You know, he always somehow keeps himself together when he is with me. But whenever I ask other employees about him, they only have bad things to say. Although, if I am being honest, I haven't actually seen my dad do any of the things that people say he has. I guess it is thanks to that part of me that wants to believe he's not all bad. No, I get it. It can't be an easy position to be in for you either. But this time, I really did see with my own eyes what he did to you. You mean you saw him come outside and start kicking me? Not directly, no. But there was another employee here who happened to be filming when he caught it all happening. I really could not believe it when he showed me the video. The employee told me she was just filming to capture the beautiful scene when all of a sudden, my dad flew into the frame and started attacking you. I guess that means that there is concrete evidence out there of your dad committing assault then, huh? I know. I feel so torn right now. Why does it have to be this way? He used to be a better man. Or maybe I was just young and saw things that way because he was my dad. Well, what is the plan for the wedding then? Of course we are still going to have it. It is a bit late to change the plan now. But I will have to think of what to do with my dad. I guess I will go and try talking to him. He's temperamental, but I think I've learned how to talk to him about these things over the years. Yeah, maybe that would be a good idea. It sounds like he has more self-control around you anyways. Dad, we really have to talk. I heard that you got into a fight with one of the guests who was invited to the wedding. Oh, hey son. I'm sorry if I caused you any worry. I saw that one of our smaller business associates was trying to get into the wedding. But since he was from such a small firm, I asked him to leave. That was all. He was from a small firm. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? That guy is just a small fry, and I didn't think he belonged with big shots like us. That's all. I mean, everyone here is managing directors and department heads. I just really doubted him when he said he was invited because he was from such a small firm. No way would he actually have been invited. So you didn't think he would fit in here, and that is why you asked him to go home? Yes, in a nutshell. And since you are one of the youngest directors here, you need to be the face of the company. And that means being very careful about the kinds of people that you are seen associating with. But it's okay. Your old man handled everything. I'll make sure this wedding goes down without a hitch. Dad, what are you even talking about? Are you even listening to yourself? How is physically kicking someone who was invited to the wedding and driving them away in any way protecting this wedding? Wait, what do you mean? How did you hear about all of that? About the invitation? Dad, who do you think sent them all out? No, not the invitation. I mean about me kicking that punk out. Who told you I did that? I want names. Somebody was filming the wedding on their phone and caught you on camera kicking my guest and telling him to leave. They showed me the video. I saw all of it for myself. What do you mean? Video? Someone filmed all of that? Yes, Dad. There was a video. You need to apologize to John before things get any worse. You mean that one of your employees was filming me? Who was it? I told you that I want names, and I want them now. Dad, I'm not going to do that. Besides, it is not like they were doing it on purpose. They just happened to be filming the venue when they caught you doing what you did. Oh, so it was just a coincidence then, was it? Well, how good for them. But if they published that video, then they would be ruined. What? Ruined? Dad, honestly, what are you talking about? I knew there was a good reason why I never trusted that dirty scum. He always acted like he was so high and mighty. He even pretended like he knew you. Can you believe it? I mean, this tiny, pathetic small fry was acting like he was on familiar terms with a director like you. It's ridiculous. But if there is a video out there of me kicking him, then let's show it to everyone. Dad, please listen to yourself. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. If people see that video, the only person that is going to get in trouble will be you. Me? Get in trouble? What are you talking about? We have to show people that video so that they can see that I was only keeping unwanted riffraff out of the wedding. Don't forget that I am far better than that pathetic little worm. And in the business world, it is eat or be eaten. And unfortunately for him, when the minnows swim with the sharks, there is only one outcome. That's how the whole world works. Dad, are you serious? I never thought that you would be the kind of person to really hold those kinds of views. Besides, John, the guy who you assaulted, is an old friend of mine from college. We went to university together. Of course, now we don't work at the same company, but we are still friends. It doesn't matter what company he works at. We're just people. Oh, Marcus. Maybe I really have been too soft on you. Where did you pick such a weak-willed, misguided view of the world? Friend or not, that man is your inferior, and you need to treat him as such. I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. I'm so disappointed in you. Maybe it would be better if everyone here saw that video. I'll put it up on a big projector so everyone can watch. Yes, of course. Now you're getting it. Show everyone. Show them how I made sure this wedding was for elites like us only. Dad. Hey, Marcus. What is the meaning of all this? How come I am being made to leave the wedding? Dad, if you really don't know by now, I don't want you setting foot inside the office again until you've learned. And I don't think I want to see you until then either. Do you understand me? What? What is all this about? Marcus, I think there has been a big misunderstanding here. I was only acting in the best interest of you and the company. Can't you see that? Well then, consider this. Without our partnership with John's company, we wouldn't be able to grow as a company at all. We need the skills that they can and have provided to us on past projects. If you really cared about the good of the company, then you would have treated him with a bit more respect and goodwill. But, wait, you're not serious, right? And did you see the look on Alex's face when she saw the video? Did that look like the face of someone grateful for seeing what you did? You heard what she said, right? She told you that you were out. Out of the company and out of the wedding. If what you did was really for the sake of the company, then why did you think Alex reacted that way, huh? She just took over the company after you retired, and she already has to put out fires you started on purpose with an important business partner. Wait. No. It's all a misunderstanding. This isn't how things were supposed to go. Look, I don't have anything else to say to you, Dad. In fact, from now on, I want nothing to do with you. Do you understand? Goodbye. Wait, Marcus. Son, you can't do this. Hey, I am very, very sorry for kicking you earlier. It was bad of me, and I should not have done it. Can you please help get my son to talk to me? No, I am afraid that I cannot do that. Marcus said that he was done with you, and to be honest, I think that is the right choice for him. No, please. I don't know where else to go. This can't be happening. My son, and the company, they're all I have left in my life. And just whose fault do you think it is that you lost both of those? This whole mess is entirely of your own making. Besides, it's not just Marcus and I who don't want you back at the wedding. Nobody here wants to see you come back here. Anyways, the ceremony is about to start, so you should just give it up. But I apologized, didn't I? How can you just throw that back in my face? How can you be so cruel? Because I know the only reason you are apologizing to me is to get to your son. That's why. Neither I nor Marcus are in the forgiving mood right now. So please just stop this. No. Please. I need this. You don't understand. By the way, I am considering pressing charges for the assault you committed on me earlier today. What? Oh, come on. Haven't I been through enough already? Well, why shouldn't I? Especially after you ruined my nice suit with your muddy shoes. I think I will be going to the maximum amount of compensation I can squeeze from you. I don't know how you plan on making your living by yourself now, but just know that I do plan on collecting every cent of what you will owe me. Come on. It was just a little scuffle. You can't really mean it. By the way, you should also know that thanks to all the cruel words I've had to suffer from you in the time I've known you, that I've received significant mental stress as well. So don't think for a second that that won't be mentioned when I file my claim against you. I knew it. I was right about you all along. You are just some gutter rat trying to steal the crumbs off the table of your betters. You were just trying to find the perfect chance to pull this little scam, weren't you? I'm not really interested in anything else you have to say to me. It just sounds like a whiny kid who got caught doing something bad and is lashing out at others. You watch your mouth. Don't forget who you're speaking to, you little worm. You mark my words. I'm going to sneak back into that wedding and remind you of where you belong. Oh, really? Are you going to try and sneak back in? Let me guess. You're doing it just so that you can eat the free food, right? After that, Rick really did try to sneak back into the wedding venue. Several times, in fact. He caused so much trouble that finally the venue called the police. After that, he realized that he was never going to get in and sulked off back home. As for me, I went through with what I said and pressed charges against him. I was able to get quite a pretty penny out of the compensation. And the video was posted online and spread around quickly. Even in town, Rick was constantly being pointed at and whispered about behind his back. Undaunted, though, he continued to hang around Marcus's office, always trying his best to get Marcus to notice him. Although I can't say I don't understand. He must be living such a lonely life now. Even I felt a bit bad seeing the pathetic attempts to get back into his old workplace. Although I guess that eventually he must have had enough, because he disappeared and was never heard from again. I have no idea where he is or what he is doing with his life now. Though he does send Marcus letters somewhat frequently. Mostly just asking him to let him back into his life. It seems after he left town, he really tried to find himself and turn over a new leaf. But I really wonder if someone so set in their old worldview can ever really change. It can't be easy for someone as bad as Rick to turn his life around all by himself. But I wish him the best and hope that one day he does.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.